Alright, it is that time of the month again. Nintendo just announced this morning all 8 tracks that would appear in Wave 3 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course pack, and there are some interesting things to note from this. I want to talk about this because I was shocked at what I saw this morning. I talked about this data mine in a previous video, and if you've seen my coverage, I've had reason to doubt this data mine, and I was correct. At least sort of. This leaked data mine wasn't everything it said it would be. First of all 8 tracks announced were in this leak, but not in the places they said they would originally be. Maple Treeway wasn't set according to the leak to come until the last wave, however it came right now in Wave 3 in place of where Waluigi Stadium was supposed to be. All 7 other tracks were actually completely correctly predicted though. Now some people might say, oh come on, so one of the tracks wasn't in the exact spot predicted. It obviously still has credibility because 7 of the 8 were correct. But I say wrong. You see, the leaker of this data mine stated that although the tracks may not be 100% accurate, they say only the ones with the blue circles might be different. And even if somehow the ones that are set in stone are wrong, the game the track was from was still guaranteed to be correct. They said that the prefixes are all definitely correct. See, the problem is when you say something is 100% certain and then it's not, you lose all credibility, no matter how close you were. Since Waluigi Stadium was in place of Maple Treeway, that is a GameCube track replaced with a Wii track, meaning that the statement can no longer be true and can be discredited. I know this sounds picky, but I sought to prove this data mine wrong and I still firmly believe that. I said that if Wave 3 ended up being correct, I would concede my statements about the data mine being fake, but because just one track ended up being incorrect, I don't have to now. Now obviously there is some credibility here because predicting 7 out of 8 tracks correctly is almost impossible to just be a coincidence, but if we see that they're not as instead of stone as we imagined, who's to say other tracks can't be swapped out? Who's to say Nintendo didn't place all these files in the game to get leakers to spew all this stuff out in order to fool everybody? I feel as if there's still a good chance that this is the case. And now I believe that Wave 4 could throw everyone for a curve. Everyone expects this data mine to be somewhat accurate, so now wouldn't it just blow everyone away if the next wave was nothing like predicted here in this data mine? One possibility I will address is perhaps Nintendo changed it last minute because they wanted the tracks to be structured differently. Waluigi Stadium is certainly not outruled, and maybe we'll see it released in the final wave where Maple Treeway was supposed to be, but clearly if the data mine is real, it cannot be said that anything is set in stone. And again, do not disregard the possibility that there could be stuff in there to deliberately mislead data miners. I do stand by this being a real possibility. However, it will probably be like a year from now before we know what the final wave is, so we're going to have to sit tight for a while. I kinda low-key hope the next wave is correct though, because DK Summon and Delfino Square are predicted to come, and both of those tracks are amazing. I still have a video ready to upload on standby to celebrate the addition of Delfino Square should it be added. I'm glad Delfino Square wasn't announced because I was actually asleep when this wave first got announced, and I was not ready. One thing I am skeptical about Wave 4 is that it breaks a pattern from the first 3 waves. Now, Nintendo has never really been one to follow patterns, but I feel like this is worth mentioning. Every single wave has had some massive fan favorite track. Wave 1 had Coconut Mall, Wave 2 had Waluigi Pinball, Wave 3 has 3DS Rainbow Road, and Maple Treeway. But according to the data mine, Wave 4 has no major fan favorite track guaranteed. It's hard to say really what's considered to be in the top tier fan status, but unless Delfino Square does end up being correct, there really is no major fan favorite track in this wave. I don't know if this solidifies Delfino Square being confirmed for the next wave, or all of the tracks are just going to be filler, but it just makes me wonder. I'm sure Nintendo wants to advertise these tracks every time for each wave in a way that are going to get more people to purchase the pass. That's just part of business. They want excitement and hype for every wave, and I'm sorry, but Dino Dino Jungle is not going to get everyone running to the eShop. Anyway though, I must admit Wave 3 is really cool overall. With Peach Gardens and Maple Treeway being added, 8 of the 32 tracks in Wii are now in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is awesome. And I do love both of those tracks, as well as Rock Rock Mountain, 3DS Rainbow Road, and Merry Mountain looks really fun as well. It is really cool to have an official Christmas-themed track in Mario Kart. But yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts with this new wave. It's fun to talk about and see what you guys think about it as well. That's all I really wanted to talk about. I hope you are all excited for the new wave. I still haven't bought it because I refuse to buy it unless Delfino Square gets added, but it does look pretty cool and I'll still be able to play it online, of course. The next wave looks like it could be the one that has Delfino Square, so fingers crossed and hope we may only be a few more months away.